Well, welcome back. The 2001 Buick Park Avenue again. Another video in that kind of series, since this is one of my cars. It gets a lot of work done to it. I don't have a rear defroster. In this, there is a common known issue with this particular series of cars. The actual power to the rear defroster goes through the FM antenna module, which is, of course, you have to take the back seat out and a sail panel to get to, but it has a tendency to just cook that connector and burn it up, and then your rear defroster and your heated mirrors, this car has a heated mirror, they don't work. But there's a couple simple checks you want to do first. I'm going to go probably look at that, but I've already checked a couple things. I'm going to run through what I looked at real quickly, and how you can quickly kind of narrow down where the issue might be, and then we'll see if we can figure out what's going on with this and fix it. All right, so the first thing we want to check here, there's a 40 amp fuse under the hood. On the passenger side, there's a small fuse block here, set of fuses. I'm just going to take the cover off of that. We're going to hook our test light to negative. Make sure it's got a good connection. Test it. Always test it. You drive yourself nuts otherwise if you don't test it. You don't have a good connection. Can't get the cover undone here. Yeah, and I got a good connection here. There we go. 40 amp in this little fuse block. That's supposed to be hot all times. Key's not in it. So you can see, got power on both sides, no problem. So it kind of eliminates that fuse being an issue. So we're just sitting inside the car. There's a relay for this circuit, which is underneath the right side of the back seat. What you can do is turn the ignition on, and hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I have automatic level control on this, so it might kick in here. Yeah, it just kicked in. You can hear it. But when what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna toggle the rear defroster on and off, and see if you can hear that relay click under the back seat. And I don't know if you can hear that. I'll just kind of put you over near where it is. So hopefully you can hear that, but I can actually hear the relay clicking on and off when I'm doing that. All right, we're just going to go in here, pull this back seat, and see what we need to do to get the whole seat out of here. Maybe I'll do that click test for you and put you right up near the relay so you can hear it, which you should be able to just push this back. All the hooks on either side, push it towards the rear. Just push that side back in again. That. Get this seat out, we'll just take it out, set it aside, out of the way. That's too small. 18 millimeter. See, they're pretty tight. Didn't really want to come out of there, but it kind of needs to. I gotta see what else we got going on here. Alright, that whole thing comes out. Alright, I got one on this side to do. You probably can't see either one of these, but it's just under the seatbelts amongst all the garbage that's in here. Should be able to just pick this up, I believe. There's nothing else holding it. Nope. There's nothing else holding this in. Push the seatbelt out of the way. Pick it up. Alright. we'll get the vacuum in here and we'll do a little cleaning too, because it's really dirty. Alright, let me see if I can find out where, yeah, Bonus got some money. All kinds of money sitting down in here. That's kind of nice. No idea what that is. Fuse Relay Center. That's probably in there. If I had to guess, which I do, that would be my guess. Alright, let's see if we can tell which one of these. Hopefully you can, I can't even tell if you're seeing this. Hopefully you're seeing it. So, it'll be right in here. One of these guys. Probably that guy right there. Now, can I do this and keep my hand on it? Well, with an umbrella I can. Yep, that's it. I can feel it. So it's going. It's definitely engaging. So this driver's side sail panel in the back, gotta figure out how to get this off of here. I'm guessing it just pushes out, but I'm not positive right yet. I'll figure it out here. Comes all the way up into this, up into here. So obviously we've got to peel that off. There we go. Peel it back here. Just clipped in, looks like. Of course, the clip came apart. So I'll get to fix that a little bit later. Man, kidding me? Oh, that's nice. Alright. Alright, just pop these out. Let's see in there. There's one. I'm going to find another one here. Without breaking it. I don't want to break this. I really don't want to break it. I can see the connections to the grid now. Alright, there's one right here in the middle. Right, kind of in the middle here. There you go. Get that out of there. Let's see what else I have holding here. You got to kind of pick it up a little bit. So there's a little tab in the back here, just down into the deck in the back. So I'm just going to try to get this out of the way as much as I can. This is the antenna module. So this has a tendency to burn up. Okay, so let's go back. Let me get the wiring diagram and see. Oh, that doesn't even sound good. Hear it? Ah, so there you go. So, hopefully you can see this. That's the known issue with these. You see how that just burned that whole side up, that heavy wire. Okay, unbolt this. Okay. Well, let's go take this apart, see what it looks like inside. All right, let's just see if we can get this apart here. Well, yeah, it's pretty cooked. You can see that right there. That's where that black wire, or purple wire goes in there. And it's pretty fried. There's the rest of the connector that just kind of fell out of there. Alright, so I did jump this jump these wires without this module in there, and I do have power to my rear defroster now, but I'm not getting any good reception at all for FM, so I'm going to have to get another one of these modules and the connector that burned up. I'm going to go look it up, but these are not cheap. I mean, it's like 50 bucks for one of these online. This may be a junkyard run. I may actually stop at a junkyard if I get a chance and pull one from a car. If I can find a good one, probably get it for 5 or 10 bucks versus 50 bucks. So I'll come back when I have another one, either new or out of a junkyard, and we'll continue. Well, I got my parts in. Got the module, got the connector. Unfortunately, you see I do have a coat on. I have another car in the garage here. It's halfway through. I'm halfway through on something. So we're going to be doing this one outside. so it's a little cold right now, but no big deal. Here are the part numbers that you'll need. Can I get the focus for you? That is the part number for the connector. They get you on this connector. It's 20 bucks for this connector. It's the best price I've found for it. It's pretty expensive for a connector. And there's the part number. Yep, there's the part number for the module that you need for this particular car. So we're going to go and hook this back up, hook the wires back up. I have a little bit of soldering to do. This connector comes with bullet connectors, which are shrink wrapped, which you can heat shrink wrap, but I don't like using them. I will solder these. I'll solder these wires together and then heat shrink them with a heat shrink that has the adhesive inside of it, so it seals it. I'll burn this connector up because probably a little bit of corrosion or a little bit of a loose connection in the module where the connector is, and it's on a 40 amp circuit. It runs the heaters for the seats, the mirrors, and the rear defroster, and so it's pulling a fair amount of amperage through them. And if you get a little bit of corrosion or something in there, it arcs a little bit. That's why they burn up. So I don't want another just a crimp connector on there and take the chance that that's going to cause a problem. So we're going to solder them and put this back together and fix this rear defroster. Alright, so I had these taped up because I just didn't want them hitting anything. Got a little bit of tape on there. So of course the connector that comes with this, I'm just going to set this module out of the way here so I'm getting messed up. It doesn't have different color wires. What you got to remember, at least for this one, the heavier wire that burned up is close to the tab on this side, so we've got to hook that wire to it. I actually think I would like to have a little more exposed on these. First, if you're going to shrink wrap them, don't forget your shrink wrap, or you get to do it twice. Ask me how I know. Alright, I've got my shrink wrap on my wires already. Purple is the one closest to the tab, so we're going to hook this and the purple together here. I know you can't see, my hands are blocking a little bit, but you'll see it in a second. This is pretty heavy wire, and it's carrying a pretty fair amount of amperage, so looking for my pliers are up here, right in front of me. So I want to get this kind of wrapped up really good. Good connection here. As I said before, I'm simply not going to do this with a butt connector. It's just a bad idea. Just a really bad idea. Alright, I got one of them right there. I'm going to solder that. Just get some flux on it so it sticks. Alright, so obviously this is cardboard, which is it'll burn. You can get it really hot, but it's just put it on there so it don't drip anything. If I drip anything, it doesn't get on the package tray and mess the carpet up. It shouldn't. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully it's not in a position you can't. And we're going to come in here and just solder it up. I've got my regular soldering iron now for this one because it's a pretty heavy wire. That's it. I'll come back and do the other one now. Now we'll let that cool before I slide that shrink wrap up on it. Man, I can't speak tonight. And then we'll slide it up, shrink it down, make sure it's there's no problems with it, and plug it back in. All right, we'll do the other side now. All right, let that cool down. And we'll shrink wrap them, cover them up with the shrink wrap, heat them up. As I said, this shrink wrap has an adhesive inside, so it will seal this wire. Got my module here, clip that into place. Get it set up and ready. Let's get this screw started in there, 10 millimeter. Same as when it came out. Things have cooled off enough now. Should be able to slide this up over them. Hopefully. We'll see. It's a pretty tight fit for this, but yeah, there it goes. Slide this other one up. Get that in place. Got two here to do as well. I actually cut this side. You don't have to cut this side, but I jumpered these to test the defroster to see if it was getting power, to make sure after I found that this connector was burned up. So I have to fix that. That's why it's cut here. Otherwise, you could just leave that alone. You don't have to do anything with it. That's it for shrink wrapping. Alright, so I do have a little dielectric grease. I'm going to put in the end of this, each side, just to help it, make sure it doesn't corrode before I plug it in. Since it did it once before, I'm going to say it won't do it again. I'll give you enough wire here though. Should for what it costs. Alright, so that one's plugged in. Let me do the same on this side and get this little bit of dielectric grease in here as well. Plug that back in. Good. Everybody's happy. Now I gotta fold this kind of out of the way. There's a clip here. Let's clip down in. Hook my antenna back up. Put that in place. Get that all the way in. Make sure that's right. Okay. Now, let me see where that was clipped before. Let me give you plenty of wire. I know you can't see this, I'm just clipping the clip back on. It's exciting. There we go. Then we'll just take this, and we'll try to tuck this down in here, inside the, so it's not in the way. Get it back in here, out of the way. Probably could cut that wire shorter if you wanted to. You don't need all this wire. Like I said, it's probably for multiple applications, and maybe sometimes you need that. I'd rather have too much than not enough. We should be good there. The wire's out of the way. It's not rubbing on anything. Looks good. Everybody looks happy. And that should be it. Oh, maybe you can see it. So right here, when I took this trim panel down, that covers this sail panel, there's a real thin piece that goes along this door. I broke it. I didn't break the panel. I actually broke one of the clips. There's a clip. And it goes right below this handle, right in the middle of this handle. And it actually slides up behind like this and slides up over that. It's covered. So when you free this first clip, which pulls straight out, you actually have to pull this down. Pull it down like this to release it. I didn't know that, and I broke it. I just broke the plastic on the back. So I'll fix it with a hot glue gun. No big deal. But be aware, when you pull this trim piece off, you have to pull it down once you get the front clip out. That clip right there. You pop that out, pull it down so it doesn't break this piece. I actually have a rear window that's covered with ice right now. It snowed yesterday, so it's a good test. I'm going to actually start the car up, run the rear defroster, make sure it's working correctly before I put everything together. I don't expect to have a problem because I cut that other connector off of it and jumpered the wires when I first pulled it out to see if I had voltage and current through it, and I did. So I don't really expect a problem, but I'm going to test it before I put everything back together and make sure everything's good. So that's it. Another nighttime light challenge job from me. But I have the defroster running right now. The rear defroster's on and it is working. It's melting the back window. I had some ice from some light snow yesterday, or last night. Not a very difficult job. It helps a lot to know that FM antenna module and the connector in that is a known problem for these. And you can see I showed you earlier, as soon as you pull that connector out, you can see it's all burned up. I didn't show you putting the back seat in or putting the trim back up. It's basically the same as taking it out, no big deal. I hope it helps you out if you need to do this, if you have a problem with your rear defroster not working. If you like the video, subscribe below. Thanks for watching.